Good morning and welcome home to Live Oak Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm Reverend Joanna and my pronouns are she, her. Thank you for joining us. We who bring a teaching of hope, we who bring a saving message, who welcome all in our doors, Muslims and Hindus, New Age and agnostic, straight, gay, lesbian, and bisexual, cisgender, transgender, non-binary, and intersex, all who are searching, seeking, looking for more meaning, more service, more love. All of us gathered here together. I invite you to put your phone on the worship mode. That means it's not going to make any sounds, but you are absolutely free to take pictures or text people, maybe send them an invitation to join you here next week, give them a little taste of what it is that we are doing here. And please, would you rise now, either in body or in spirit, and join us in singing hymn number 298, Wake Now My Senses, and remain standing for our chalice lighting.
Our chalice today is being lit by Rosie. This is a congregation bound not by creed, but by covenant. May those in agreement affirm our church covenant now. We affirm a caring community of and for all ages, seeking wisdom, doing service, and living with integrity. In our diversity, our covenant holds us in unity as we celebrate our shared spiritual journey. Good morning. My name is Renee Garcia, and my pronouns are she, her. One thing I especially love about this church is that you don't have to leave slices of yourself at the door. You can be your whole self, and you will be welcomed and loved and accepted. I'd like to welcome any guests we have today. Thank you for taking a chance to walk through our doors and join us for worship. If this is your first time being here, please stop by the visitors table so that we can meet you and answer any questions you may have. And today, you have the opportunity to learn even more about Live Oak at our Exploring Membership class. This is hosted by Reverend Joanna and the membership team, and it will be held in the library after today's service. This is a church that is buzzing 7 days a week. The definitive way to keep up with what's happening is through our weekly email newsletter. You can sign up for it at the visitor's desk. Live Oak UU has many ways for you to connect with our beloved community beyond Sunday. Opportunities are shared at our website or newsletter. One event happening this week is the Deep Thought Discussion Group. This week, they will discuss the missing law of nature, which addresses the second law of thermodynamics, complexity, function, and the role of information. They'll meet in the library from 6:30 to 8 this Wednesday. Our call to worship is by Rebecca Savage. We gather together today with sacred intention to declare that justice is our prayer. We affirm in covenant with the beloved community that is possible. Not here, not quite yet. The seeds have been planted time and again, and we remember all those who went before us who made beloved community a dream that could be realized. Justice is our prayer. May our time of worship together continue to water the budding trees of our diverse interdependence. May our time of worship give air and nourishment to the parts of our collective spirits that need to grow and thrive, that embrace equity as a known way of being. Justice is our prayer. We affirm in covenant with the beloved community that is possible. May it be so. Let us worship together.
It is a special day in the life of our congregation. We are being transformed as we welcome new members who are going to bring new ideas, new desires, new energies, new opportunities to us. And we are going to share our ideas, desires, energies, and projects with them. Our covenant securely grounds us, but it also resonates with new life. As George Kimmel Beach put it, people don't join a covenanted community, rather they constitute it. There is no it without them, and each time new folks join, the whole is literally reconstituted.
Each of the following people has completed all of the requirements necessary to become a member of Live Oak Unitarian Universalist Church. It is with joy that I invite them up onto the chancel. Ann and Ray Boyd and their son William, John Wone, Laura Berman and Wes Williams.
And we extend a special welcome to the children of our new members. We celebrate you and we are glad that you are here. Today, the identity of all members, old and new, is changing. This congregation gets a new identity because you change us. We are now your church. And you change because you now add a member of Live Oak to who you are. Simply put, with these promises that we make to each other, we become yours and you become ours. Will the members of the congregation please rise in body or in spirit and join me in our words of commitment? We, the members of Live Oak Unitarian Universalist Church, welcome you into membership. We promise to walk along with you in your spiritual journey, to work together with you to strengthen this liberal religious community, and to make our vision for a just and peaceful world come alive. And new members, will you say your words?
We pledge with our hands and hearts to contribute to the common good of this liberal religious community, and to join in the spirit of love, reason, and freedom that we find here. We join you in the mission to embrace joy, enrich connections, encourage growth, and empower dreams.
And you mix that. Let us welcome these new members into our fold. Let us give them the best of our tradition, who we have been and who we are today. But let us also open ourselves to the ways in which they are going to teach and transform us and share in the construction of the community that together we are becoming. Neither churches nor their members are perfect. Sorry to break it to you. If you hang around here long enough, one of two things, or perhaps both, may happen to you. Eventually, the church may disappoint you, or you may disappoint the church. A time may come when we fail to act or respond to something that you are sure that we should have. A time may come when you can't do something that the church asks of you. And it's not that what happened isn't important. It is. But what is most important is what happens next. As long as we live in a covenanted community seeking right relationship, our commitment to each other will be strengthened and we will grow as individuals and as a healthy community.
We have a gift bag for each family. Inside your gift bag, you will find a small chalice. At Live Oak, it is important that what happens here does not stay here. We hope that you will find ways to keep the chalice burning bright in your home and in your heart. Please exit the stage to your right, and the rest of us will give you a heartfelt applause.
Each Sunday when we gather as a congregation, we bring our joys and sorrows with us into this room. And when we ask for remembrance or celebration or prayer or thought, we make of this sanctuary a sacred circle. And we have one today. This is from the Kanopka family that says, "It is awesome to see so many people here today." Yes. For all of our joys and concerns, including the ones that are unspoken, we bear witness with our care and concern. Please join me in singing.
Please rise as you are willing and able for hymn number 121, "We'll Build a Land."
Free,
I am Chris Jarman. I am your Director of Faith Development. I use she, her pronouns. Today, I want to talk to you about something very, very important that makes you valuable. I know that sometimes the world tries to tell us that our worth is based on things like how smart we are, how much stuff we have, how well we do in school, our grades, do we do well in sports? But as Unitarian Universalists, we believe something different. We believe that you are valuable just because you are you. So let me explain that. Imagine if everyone in the world was measured by things like how many toys they own, or how fast they can run. What if the only way people were seen as valuable was if they were, the best at something? That wouldn't be very fair, would it? If that's the only way you have value? Because we know that everyone is different and everyone has something special about them that can't be measured by those kinds of things. In our Unitarian Universalist faith, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. That means everyone has value, no matter who they are, where they come from, what they have. We are all precious. Not because of anything we've done or because we've earned it, but just because we are human beings. You don't have to be the best at everything to be worthy of love, respect, and care. Sometimes people in the world forget this, and they treat others unfairly or measure their worth in ways that don't make sense. But our UU faith teaches us that all people, no matter what, are worthy of dignity and respect because everyone is part of this big, beautiful world. And that includes all of you. Think about it. Put on your thinking caps. What makes you valuable? Got something in your mind? Is it the way you help others? Is it the way you're singing this morning and sharing your voice? Is it the way you smile and make people feel good? Is it your creativity and the ideas that you come up with? I invite you to yell out what you think is valuable, what you hold as valuable about yourself. Let's just hear some. Go ahead. Oh, imagination. That is so valuable. Yes. Anybody else? Humor. Yes. Anybody like a good joke and people that can share one with you? What you got? Laughter. Laughter. Yeah, and if you didn't hear that, it's laughter, and the best part is baby laughter and how it just holds us, doesn't it? Yeah, that baby said, yeah. All of these things are what make you special, and they show the world your true value. You are valuable because you are a unique person with your own thoughts, your own heart, and your own spirit. Just like the stars in the sky, each one of us shines in our own unique way. Your kindness, your creativity, your love, these are things that truly make you valuable. We also believe as Unitarian Universalists that everyone deserves justice, which means everyone should be treated fairly and kindly. Notice what I didn't say without accountability. We said with fairly and kindly, no matter who they are. Justice means standing up for what is right, helping others, and making sure that no one is treated unfairly. That's one of the ways we can show respect for everyone's worth. We make the world better when we help others see their own value and treat them with care and fairness. Share with someone what you value about them today. Let them know who they are is valuable to you. I want you to remember today and every day that you are valuable just because you are you. No one can take away your worth. You are part of a beautiful, amazing world, and we are all better because you are in it. And with this, our story is told.
Our reading today is from the autobiography of Martin Luther King Jr. Capitalism is always in danger of inspiring people to be more concerned about making a living than making a life. We are prone to judge success by the index of our salaries or the size of our automobiles, rather than by the quality of our service and relationship to humanity. When all is finally entered into the annals of sociology, when philosophers, politicians, and preachers have all had their say, we must return to the fact that a person participates in this society primarily as an economic entity. At rock bottom, we are neither poets, athletes, nor artists. Our existence is centered in the fact that we are consumers, because we must first eat and have shelter to live. This is a difficult confession for a preacher to make, and it is a phenomenon against which I will continue to rebel, but it remains a fact that consumption of goods and services is the raison d'etre of the vast majority of Americans.
What makes a person more or less valuable? As you heard from Chris, in our Unitarian Universalist tradition, over the more than 200 years of history, we have often addressed the fact that each person is of value. The wording that was used one time that I still really like, even though it was a long ago on the Universalist side, was supreme worth, that a human life is of supreme worth, more than things, right? More recently, in our principles, we talked about how we affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And it remains a great topic of debate about, can you lose your inherent worth? But this issue of valuable, if we start from this idea that, okay, everyone, every person is of worth, has worth, are there people who are more or less valuable? And what do we base that on, both as a society and you as an individual? When you think about the people that you come across, who are the people that either deliberately or subconsciously you rate as being more valuable or less valuable? This past week, we've seen a lot of accolades, a lot of attention to someone that many people consider to be very valuable in his life, former President Jimmy Carter, that this was someone who used the 100 years of his life to really try and make things better in the world. And so often the things that we have been hearing about him, first of all, are about his character. From just about everything I've heard, at least, when people talk about who he was in his personal life, they will always talk about him being good, decent, compassionate, a good husband, good father, good grandfather, a compassionate friend. They'll talk about the things that he did both as president, but a lot of times it's even more talking about the things he did after the presidency. Things like all of the attention that he brought towards Habitat for Humanity, using the platform of being president. There were a lot of people who had no idea about Habitat until they started seeing these articles about Jimmy Carter being out there and supporting it. And for him, it was not just something that he promoted. He actively was out there, swinging a hammer because he really believed in this idea of helping to build homes for people in need. The thing that definitely captured my imagination, and I think is one of the biggest things that has been talked about, has been his work against dragons. The scientific word, it's like dracunliasis, for the guinea worm. It literally means little dragons because it's a parasite, and they call it little dragons because of the pain that it causes to its human host. And the reason why he focused in on this with the resources of the Carter Center, he decided he wanted to see if there was a problem that could actually be solved. And so he gathered together people from all over the world, the people he considered to be some of the greatest minds with a variety of expertise, and he said this to them. He said, okay, if we had all the resources, you had my name and the platform to bring attention to this, I can go and, as a past president, I can go to other countries, I can talk to world leaders. Is there a problem that we could actually eliminate? And this was what they came up with, was this. They said there is a wide range of things that we would need to do to combat it, including very pragmatically having a straw. I love this, and I think this is why it captured my imagination, is that you can have a huge problem, and a key part of the solution can be something really simple that if you just have enough money, you can make happen. And so in this case, it was having a straw with a filter in it that people could wear around their neck if they lived in afflicted areas, and they could keep from ever from getting this worm. He was hoping that he would outlive the very last guinea worm. That didn't quite happen, but they were, by all accounts, 99.99% successful. But still, yes. And still, the work goes on. So this is one way that Jimmy Carter was able to use his life to make a difference in the world. Now, another person that many consider to be very valuable and continues to influence the world, it's the person who we will be celebrating on January 20th. There's nothing else we're doing January 20th, right? Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Martin Luther King, if you talk to most people, including school children, about what made this man so valuable, what was the work that he did in the world that was so of value, most people will say his work against racism, right? And absolutely. But what he also talked about, because he knew that it was woven in a way that could not be separated, was economic injustice. And for him, as you heard in the readings today, he was aware of how this economic system that we all have to live in, we all have to produce wealth in some way, either for other people, hopefully a little bit for ourselves, and we have to consume. and that becomes such a significant part of our identity. And when you don't have means, when you don't have wealth, he knew that it shaped every part of your life, including your relationships and your sense of self. And as you heard in the reading, this was something that he railed about. He absolutely was worried about the economic impact on a person's, livelihood and how they pay the bills and all of those practical things. But he was also worried about what it did to our souls. And when he talked about this, he would bring it back to this whole idea of worth. He said a host of positive psychological changes inevitably will result from widespread economic security. The dignity of the individual will flourish when the decisions concerning their life are in their own hands, when they have the assurance that their income is stable and certain, and when they know that they have the means to seek self-improvement. Personal conflicts between spouses and children will diminish when the unjust measurement of human worth on a scale of dollars is eliminated. He understood, as we see, that so much of our definition of a person's value is connected to their wealth. He very famously, in the I Have a Dream speech, everyone can talk about how he said that he wanted his children to be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. What he didn't put in those precise words, but if you look at all of his sermons and his writings and his work, it is clear that what he also was trying to communicate is that he wanted his children and your children and all of us to be judged by the content of our character and not the content of our wallets. People, when they do talk about this aspect of MLK's ministry, his fight against economic injustice, they sometimes will phrase it like it was sort of something that just happened at the end of his life, right? Like he solved racism, and so now he moved into economic injustice. First of all, it didn't solve racism. Hate to break it to you. But also, this issue of economic injustice was something that he was talking about throughout his entire public life. In 1955, he was it looks like it was, our notes on this, we have like handwritten notes. It looks like it was sort of a symposium that he was a part of, called the Christian Leadership Symposium. And he said, in every community, people are hungry. Unemployment is rising like a tidal wave. Housing conditions are embarrassingly poor. Crime and juvenile delinquency are spreading like the dewdrops on an early fall morning. All of these conditions result from the economic problem. Moreover, the economic problem has brought about one of the most conflicts of our time, the conflict between capital and labor. This internal war between labor and capital is a basic problem within every community, and so it continues to be. If we are honest, it is very clear that our society assigns value in very different ways, and unlike Unitarian Universalists, will absolutely say that there are people who absolutely are not of value, who are expendable, right? When you look at how we treat migrants and people in prison and the houseless, there are people that our society says hold no value at all. And then on the other hand, there are people who, because of their wealth, are accorded great respect and power and authority, even unearned. There are 2 unelected billionaires in West Texas who are determining the agenda for the Texas legislature. There is an unelected billionaire, Elon Musk, who, even though the next administration has not yet taken office, is already shaping the federal legislative agenda. We give a lot of power to those with extreme wealth. What is it that you consider to make a person more or less valuable? When Jimmy Carter died, he hadn't completed this issue of the guinea worm. And so the work has to continue. Because the thing is, I'm pretty sure on this, that if everything were to stop right now, things wouldn't remain the way they are, right? The guinea worm would continue growing and multiplying, and we would look up at some point, and we would probably be back where we were when this battle first began. When it comes to the guinea worm and humanity, there is no tie. There is no playing to a draw. It has to be eliminated, which means the work has to continue. When King died, the work against economic injustice was incomplete. And that work did not in any meaningful way continue. Because economic injustice is so much bigger than it was in his time. King didn't have to work within a world of citizens united, where money could have such an influence on our elections that, yes, billionaires who can then go in and fund elections are given the power by the elected officials who benefit from that. We have to go back to this idea of addressing economic injustice, understanding that all of the issues we are dealing with have an economic component. This issue of reproductive justice and abortion, for some people, they just don't think it is that important because they know that they have the means that if someone they love needs that type of care, they can get them to a place with that kind of care. This is a part of everything that we're dealing with transgender issues, with prejudice, racism. It's in everything. And so I am challenging us as we look at the different issues, as we're looking at this issue. I think we already know this about gun violence. It's really clear all of the money that is involved in this. When King died, he left us marching orders. And especially for those of us who might define ourselves as white people of goodwill, well, we probably wouldn't willingly do that, but that's what we are. Many white Americans of goodwill have never connected bigotry with economic exploitation. They have deplored prejudice, but tolerated or ignored economic injustice. There are so many conversations we need to have, and it is a complicated one because our country is so shaped by the Calvinism that was in our country, by the Puritanism that even if you were not raised a Christian, it has still affected you and how you see the world. Things like what we deserve, and with money, morality has always in this country been tied up with it. That's why we can't have simply honest, pragmatic questions about things like a universal basic income. It always goes back to that Calvinism of who deserves what. So let's start having those conversations. And as we head into this next year with the Texas legislature coming into session and a new national administration, let's always connect it. Where is the money in this? And who are the people that we determine to be more or less valuable? I invite you to join me in a time of reflection, prayer, meditation, whatever the term is that works best for you. Make yourself a little bit more comfortable, get kind of centered in your seat, and if you're comfortable doing so, close your eyes so that you can go deeper inward. And these are the words of Dana Edwards. Spirit of life and love, times are tough and trepidation swirls in our hearts. Groceries are expensive and our paychecks don't go as far as they used to. Incendiary words drip off the lips of our politicians and sow division in our nation. People we loved are lost to hateful rhetoric and dubious conspiracy theories. And still, there is hope. Through the generations, our democracy has been threatened, questioned, and buffeted. Our government has not always lived up to its ideal of freedom for all. We are grateful for all those organizers, journalists, freedom fighters, clergy, and regular people who knew that the people of our nation are called to do better and be better. Those like Grace Lee Boggs, Fannie Lou Hamer, Ida B. Wells, Dolores Huerta, Harriet Tubman, Viola Liuzzo, and so many others who knew that freedom isn't free, who saw the deep and intricate connections of the human web, who cared enough to show up and keep showing up, who loved the people of this nation enough to keep fighting for who we could be. They gave us hope. They gave us hope that even though our democracy isn't perfect, striving toward excellence in the way we care for the people of this nation, serve the people of this nation, and govern the people of this nation is a worthy and noble cause. Our faith also gives us hope. A faith that knows that transformation is a holy and sacred task, that affirms that the democratic process is a faithful act, that brings a generous heart and a lens of justice and liberation to all that we do, that values equality and equity and is centered in love. Our love gives us hope. A revolutionary love that challenges us to find the worth and dignity in those with whom we disagree. Love that inspires us to amplify the voices that are often silenced. Love that holds us when the work of liberation seems so daunting. A love so big it bears the heavy weight of complex humans with ease. Spirit of life, may love, hope, and wisdom guide us in our lifelong work toward liberation. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
We are the tradition of the Free Church. Our church and our community outreach are supported not from an outside source, but from within. We invite you to make a financial contribution to help sustain this church's vital work, knowing that every gift, large and small, is appreciated and carefully used in service to our mission. The QR code or text information for donations is available at the back of the seat pocket. If you would like to donate by credit card, Apple, or Google Pay, someone from stewardship can assist you near the kitchen after the service. This congregation is owned by the members themselves. Each UU congregation is an independent organization, self-funded and self-governed. We'll now have a message from our stewardship team.
Good morning. Thank you all so much for being a part of this congregation and for being with us here today. I am here to talk to you about a season for renewal. So this is our pledge drive for 2025. We set up something new this year, and we just wanted to take a minute to explain kind of how it works. So our season for renewal is our way for you to enter your 2025 pledge. So you can either scan the QR code, or it is liveoakuu.org/2025 renewal. So this will be your new pledge form. We are trying not to roll over old pledges. We want to start fresh for the new year and give you an opportunity to select how and when and how much you'd like to give in this upcoming year. It really helps you break down things, gives you some information about the congregation, how we function, what we need, what we're looking to do, and gives you all the tools to set up what you would like to give for 2025. If you have any questions, we are all available, those of us that are passing out information this morning, or any of us with the little special tags on our badges. We are asking for you to increase your give this year if you are willing and able, or just continue your pledge. And we are passing out a one-pager that will give you information. This also has the QR code that you can scan. Thank you guys so much.
So as the ushers come forward to receive the offering, I invite you to say with me these words. We are building beloved community. With our labor and with our treasure, with gratitude we receive the offering. May it help us to fulfill our mission in the world.
Jimmy Carter and MLK had big public platforms in which to spread their message and do their work. But I don't think that that should limit whether a person is considered to be extraordinarily valuable. Think of the people in your life who, because of their character, perhaps their quiet ways of simply doing and being good in the world, have made such an impact on you. May we honor them and celebrate them and be more like them. Go in peace.
This is your invitation to the Faith Development Hour, and we have a whole church social action today. Whoop, whoop. Oh, come on, let's go. Whoop, whoop. All right, so today we're going to, first, I'm going to take care of the business. Childcare is open until 12:45. And membership, Exploring Membership meets in the library at 11:15. Now, for the rest of us in the fellowship hall, there are tables set up with T-shirts, and this is part of the Vitas Robitus program, Stolen Lives, where we will be lifting up the value of lives that have been taken because of guns, bringing recognition and awareness to our community as we enter into the ledge of 2025, and that there will be gun legislation being discussed this year. The beautiful thing about this program is that you will be writing people's names from Travis County on the T-shirts with their date and their age. I want you, when you're writing it, to lift up their names, to say their names, to remember that they were valuable and are valuable to their families and to their communities. That this is this is also a spiritual practice, not just a social action, because the two are entwined. So we're going to write the names on the T-shirts, and then we're going to install them. Yesterday we had a whole crew out here of volunteers. Yes, give them a hand. It was a lot of work. And we're going to install the T-shirts. When we install the T-shirts, the ones that are in color are those who lost their lives to homicide. Those that are written in white on white T-shirts lost their lives by unaliving themselves. It's all gun violence. And we're going to lift them up and show that there's value in all life, that we all have worth and dignity. So I invite you all to stay. If you feel like there might be a little hunger issue, we've got some pizza coming. And I invite the children to also make sure the kids are helping, that we include them, that they can help with moving T-shirts and markers and hanging shirts out on the lines. Let's all work together as a community to lift up our project today. Next week, we will have dignitaries coming, elected dignitaries from the community who will be here for our special service. It is a music service that will be based on gun violence. And we will have a special installation ceremony outside after the service next week. So let's all work it together. Let's all celebrate it next week. And then let's all go to the ledge this coming legislation session. Thank you.
So I invite you to rise as you are willing and able for our closing hymn, number 1018, Come and Go With Me, and remain standing for the extinguishing of our chalice. And now Rosie will help us extinguish the chalice. And let us say these words together. We extinguish the flame here that it might glow gently in our hearts. May it light your path as you leave this place. May it guide your way until we are together again. What a gift it has been to be together today. Thank you to today's home team who provided hospitality in worship and tech leadership. That includes Eileen, Nancy, Catherine, Hella, Larice, Charles, and Jackie. So let's continue that hospitality by spending the next 5 minutes talking with someone we don't know. Members, be sure to introduce yourself to any first-time visitors we have. They're the ones with the handwritten name tags. And show them where the visitors' table is and where to find the coffee. And may we all know the blessings of fellowship.